Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bible Study Minute. Today we're taking a look at 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 29 through the end of chapter 17. And what we see in these chapters is the current state of the divided kingdom, particularly the northern kingdom of Israel. And what we see is that king after king, they have continued in sin and not following the Lord. And this has been the case with every king. And now they are at King Ahab, who Scripture tells us is, of all the kings up to this point, he's the worst of them all. He has set up a temple and an altar for Baal. He's worshiping idols and false gods. He's just leading the entire nation into sin. And it's interesting when you look at it, because even if you look at it from a historical perspective, he was probably a great political king, but when it comes to actually leading the people and helping them get closer to God, he was the worst king of all, because he led them furthest from God. So with that in view, we then see Elijah coming on the scene. And we don't get much about Elijah or his background, but what we see is that he is a prophet and he has come to speak against King Ahab. And the first thing he does is he tells him that it's not going to rain until I say so. And that's it. And then God sends him off into hiding and cares for him. And then once the water where he was at dries up, God sends him to a widow, and he stays with the widow. He performs some miracles there. But the big takeaway here is Elijah's obedience. He heard the word of the Lord spoke to him, and he would do what the Lord said. And that's the kind of obedience that we need as believers. And what we see here is God working through Elijah to accomplish his purpose. He's trying to get the nation of Israel to turn back to him by bringing them discipline, the discipline that he said would come their way in the book of Deuteronomy if they chose not to worship the Lord. So what we see happening here is exactly what God said, and he's just using Elijah as the tool to make this happen. And for Elijah's part, in a world full of sin and people who are not following God, he's the one that stands out and is doing what the Lord wants him to do. So that's what I want you to look at today as you take a look at this passage. Until next time, grace and peace.